Turnups, this is M.R.Shannon, and welcome to the Daily Turnup, the podcast where we break down what's going on in the world today and help you digest it all in 10 minutes or less. Today's Thursday, November 7th, and man, do we got a great slate of news for you. So we're going to try things a little different, be a little more informal, throw the legs up, kick it back, while still covering the news and help you understand what's going on in the world today. Virginia is going blue. Europe and China, they might be best friends right now, and Airbnb is trying to right all of its wrongs after it had a really bad month. All right, we're going to get right into the first story. Virginia is now a blue state. So in 2017, Virginia Democrats almost retained the entire state's governmentship. They were so close, a hair away from winning it all and just basically dictating Virginia as they saw fit. And on Thursday, so 2 days ago, they finished the job by winning both the chamber and state's legislature, controlling all that government for the first time since 1993, which is an absolute huge win because now they can shape Virginia how they want. So they can really implement their gun control laws. They can raise minimum wage. And most importantly, they can draw legislative district lines, which will allow them to consolidate power and really dictate their policies as they see fit. Huge win for Democrats. Changing a little over, Tucson had a vote yesterday on whether or not to become a sanctuary city. And what that basically means is that the United States cannot deport any illegal aliens. They're safe while within the city parameters. Well, the mayor of Tucson spoke, Jonathan Rothschild, and he said, this is a quote, "The city of Tucson in all respects expected being labeled as such operates as a sanctuary city." So basically it's I do not want to be labeled as that because when you're labeled as a sanctuary city, the current administration tends to, fine you a couple $1 million here and there and basically pull federal funding. So the vote was overwhelmingly rejected the move to become an official sanctuary city, even though they operate as such. And maybe the biggest news of the week is that U.S. diplomats are going to start in the public impeachment hearing next week. So all this talk about all the testimonies for the whole impeachment inquiry, the whole Ukraine scandal going on, all that is coming out. So as long as you have a TV and you still got your NPR or public television or whatever, you're going to see these testimonies going live, which is just going to be really interesting and something that we're all pretty much looking forward to as it's been hyped up for months now. It's almost like the Super Bowl of politics, but obviously outside the presidency. All right, so to hook you up with the big takeaways, Virginia turning blue is a huge win for Democrats as they move into election season and they can reshape the electoral map for the Democrats to give them an easier path to the presidency, as Virginia is now not seen as a swing state. Tucson votes one way, rejecting sanctuary city, but it's still acting as one. And impeachment is coming to a TV near you. All right, we're going to change it up a little and head over to the world news category, where we got to talk the United States and China and their trade dealing or lack of trade dealing. So it's been in the news for a while now that the United States and China are trying to work on a deal to eliminate the trade war that have been hurting both economies, China a little more than the United States, and all that. But it's been reported that they're going to delay that signing to December with a potential location in London. So there's a lot of reasons for that. Basically, they still can't come to an agreement in phase one. What products they're going to lift tariffs for, what policies are going to change, because the United States was really upset about intellectual property protection related to copyright and trademark issues. But it's also been reported that they're not going to address any industrial subsidies at all. So scientists, though, have discovered a new HIV strain in nearly 2 decades. This is part of the Group N version of HIV-1, which is very similar to the current HIV pandemic that we have going on. Scientists are saying it's not super scary, we can calm down, don't need to freak out. But the reason why it is so important is because they need to know what strain to look for so they can treat it accordingly. Because like most things, if it has a different strain, you need to treat it differently. Just to give a little statistics for you, so about 36.7 million in the world are currently living with HIV, and estimated in 2016, some 1.8 million people have become newly affected. All right, we're going to change topics, but go a little backwards here, because as the United States has a rift with its trade war with Europe and China, Europe is kind of cutting out the middleman with his Dutch and moving in with China, and what it wants to be its new global partner and best friend. So the president of France, Emmanuel Macron, visited China last week, after, having a lot of issues with the United States And the Chinese President Xi took a little punch at the United States as he was seen sampling French wines, which Trump's administration recently slapped with very heavy new tariffs. So Macron portrayed himself as kind of like the envy of Europe to China, where it's basically sent the message that they've given up on President Trump, who doesn't hide his disdain for multilateralism. One of the economists coming out of Cornell said that the United States is now seen by other countries as an unreliable and untrustworthy partner, leaving them to maneuver around the U.S. by striking bilateral and multilateral deals that protect and advise their own interests. So what this has seen to us is that we might get left out in the dark in this whole trade thing going on. And then Turkish President Erdogan has come out and said that he captured, or Turkey has captured, al-Baghdadi's wife, that terrorist that we killed last week. He said she was actually captured over a year ago, but kind of kept it on the wraps because he didn't want to publicize it, and that she was able to spill a lot of information in regards to ISIS and Baghdadi. So to hook you up with the big takeaways from this is that the U.S. is delaying its trade talks with China, but Europe is, kind of moving around, trying to go in for the kill and become best friends and cut the United States out. It's the big thing there. Jumping over to business and money news, like I've said before, it's kind of my favorite topic just because, we can all kind of relate. Or we really deal with this on a level. So if you ever stayed in Airbnb, this one is for you. So Airbnb is going to verify all 7 million properties to improve its trust. It's had a lot of issues this month. Most notably, last Thursday, a shooting at an unauthorized Halloween party in an Airbnb rental in California left 5 people dead. There's also been instances of Airbnbs like running scams where a customer will be like, all right, I'm coming to this Airbnb and this is going to be great. I'm super excited. We're going to have a great time. I really want to check out the city. And like a few minutes before they go and check into that Airbnb, like that house owner cancels. And there's like, oh, you know what? Sorry, we've had, issues. I'm doing some air quotes over here. And they like hook those customers up with a different, very, very, very unfortunately shitty place. And those customers can't get a refund and they're just kind of getting screwed over by this scam. So Airbnb is trying to right all its wrongs and kind of re-verify trust so it doesn't completely collapse. CocaCola is choosing plastic bottles over aluminum cans to cut its carbon footprint. It's done the math and it says that plastic is less harmful than aluminum, or they can at least make it less harmful. And then just to update you, last year Coca-Cola pledged to collect and recycle a bottle or can for every one it sells globally in 2030. And finally, as we wrap this up, billionaires are absolutely bashing Elizabeth Warren as she plans to fix America's inequality problem. Elizabeth Warren wants to unwind a chunk of the 2017 corporate tax cuts, impose a wealth tax of 6 cents on every dollar of net worth and $1 billion, like if you make over $1 billion, and raise capital gains overall. So notable billionaires have come out like JP Morgan's Chase's boss, Jamie Dimon, and basically says that Warren vilifies successful people and that the complete nature of how you run a corporation is at risk because of her policies. Other billionaires like Leon Cooperman has said that the presidential nominee candidate, whatever, is shitting on us and effing the American dream. That it would be, if she ever became president, it would be so bad that they wouldn't even open the stock market. So, Elizabeth Warren has just become target number 1 for billionaires. Not a good group to get pissed off. And for your biz money facts, Adidas is partnering with the International Space Station because it wants to test out its gear, in space, which is really cool. Boeing CEO is giving up his 2019 bonus because he really messed up with the whole 737 MAX crisis, trying to right those wrongs. All right, Turnups, the big takeaways. Airbnb has a long way to go to restore our trust, and they're going to start by, checking on the property, something they should have already done. And billionaires mark Elizabeth Warren as public enemy number 1. Real quick on your sports news, the 2020 NBA title odds have changed. No longer are the Los Angeles Clippers number 1. It is LeBron James and the Lakers, but really LeBron James. And Major League Baseball is reportedly going to use computers as a strike zone in minor league baseball in 2020. And try and test that whole thing out. Could be a huge win. And as always, Turnups, we finished with celebrity and pop news. Lady Gaga tells Oprah that Bradley Cooper dating rumors were silly. So I'm going to read a quote from her. Lady Gaga said, "Quite frankly, I think the press is very silly. I mean, we made a love story. For me as a performer and as an actress, of course we wanted people to believe that there was true love. And we wanted people to feel that love at the Oscars. We wanted to go right through the lens of the camera to every television. that it was the beginning that it was being watched on. And we worked hard on it. We worked for days. We mapped the whole thing out. It was orchestrated as a performance. Thank you, Lady Gaga. That was pretty awesome. And finally, what we do on the Daily Turnup, as you turn this up, we talk about the Kardashians, the Jenners, because, I don't know, I think they're like America's version of like the British royal family. Maybe not like, to that degree of importance, but they're really good at dominating the headlines every single day. So Kylie Jenner and Drake, yes, the Drake, the Toronto native rapper, Mongol, just absolute star Drake, have been seen a lot together, which has sparked some romantical connections, as you can well imagine. People close to Drake, there's like, yo, this is not romantic. They're just friends doing friend thing. But a source very close to Kylie said it may turn into something more than just friends. She's exploring things, but she's calling herself single. And turnups, here are some daily advice. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. That is from President Ronald Reagan. Turnups, I hope you like the little more informal approach. We're trying to change it up, see what you like. So let me know. Let me know if you like the formal where we're very rigid, or if it's a little more free. You can message me, slide into the DMs on Instagram at m.r.shannon. Turnups, I had a blast. Definitely, hopefully, probably our best episode yet. I'll see you tomorrow.